What's the deal? It's your folks, Shaka. You know, y'all, I came up on this clip right here. I said this is something to speak about. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've been speaking for a minute, about this whole defund the police and police being held accountable and stuff like that. You know, I have been saying for a very long time, that we're gonna be the ones that are going to be dealt the biggest blow behind whatever is going to transpire behind all of those uh, things being applied, that shit going on, you know what I'm saying? And so now we here today, where we got the city of Bucktown in Chicago. They're going to go ahead and hire their own police security force, y'all, because of the crime. It's just getting out of hand. But we're going to go ahead and hit play on this, and I'm going to come back. We're going to stop here and there. Let's go.
To their own hands, Bucktown locals hiring a private security firm to patrol their neighborhood and curb lawlessness hitting the Windy City. Alderman Brian Hopkins, whose ward encompasses part of Bucktown, joins me now. Alderman, thank you for being with us this morning. We can take a look on the screen at the crime rate over the past year in Chicago, and everything is up: robbery, burglary, theft, and we're talking about up 66 to 79%. So what does it tell us?
So yeah, I know what it tells me, when I think about our community, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, when things happen to us, because we're not at the forefront of figuring out what the solutions should be, and other groups of people hand them to us, oftentimes there's, like, I guess what they say, a vacuum after whatever solution they are telling us is a solution is applied. And we got to deal with a lot of the mess, you know what I'm saying? And basically that's what happened with a lot of what was going on with the defund of police and police budgets being cut and police being held accountable. A lot of police officers, they retired, which we're going to speak on that. They dropped hours, went part-time, and things like that to do other things. We're going to speak on that here. Or they just became a lot more careless in the communities that they're patrolling and stuff like that. And it's, kind of like a thing for, that whole, what they call blue blood brotherhood over there, is to not to really be as invested anymore. But, that's what kind of happened. And we're kind of, again, stuck with the tab of that. But let's go ahead and keep listening and keep speaking on it.
Tell the people of Chicago, hey, maybe it's time to take your security into your own hands. What do we take away from Bucktown hiring private security?
Well, this is one neighborhood that's been under siege lately. Those crimes that you mentioned are certainly a problem, but in particular, it's been carjacking, armed robbery and carjacking, and the two are directly connected because the armed robbers use cars that they obtained earlier in an armed carjacking. And this neighborhood happens to kind of have the perfect storm of circumstances. It's relatively affluent, and it's right near several major exits to the expressway system. So the thieves know they can go there to this neighborhood at any time of day, commit their armed robbery, and make their escape immediately, get on the expressway and flee. And we have a no pursuit policy here in Chicago. The police are not allowed to chase criminals. Of course, they know this. So, it's easy pickings. And this neighborhood just finally said, we've had enough. We're trying to hire our own off-duty security force to try and bring some measure of protection to the community.
Okay, and that there lies the difference between these other communities and our community. And a lot of times we don't like really looking at that. I say this all the time. If you've stayed in a suburb, or you've been to a suburb, or you're currently staying in a suburb, an affluent suburb, then you understand that they pretty much police themselves. You don't have a bunch of cops sitting out on the corners anywhere. And I believe that the dude, Tariq Nasheed, said this as well, that those upper class people, they ain't like the city police like that. You know what I'm saying? They like governing themselves for the most part, and that's what they do. Especially if it comes down to like a measure like this. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is with us, we can kind of like be sitting around crime all day, and we still continue to only be worried about what's in our front yard. That's why I'm not a fan of this talking point. Well, everybody is different and all that stuff like that, especially when it's about us as men. We got to start being more driven to collectively figure out. We need to start being more driven to figure out collective solutions. You know what I'm saying? And this is what this type of stuff looks like. And that is the biggest difference. It's not that cops are sitting on every corner in the suburbs over there. And that's real talk. And I think I said that on the video on this channel when I spoke on black crime or whatever. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep hitting play because we're going to get to the last part here. Let's go.
And what can this private security firm, what can this private security operation do? How can they help?
Well, that's a great question. This is not a new concept. There's a number of other neighborhoods that have been doing this for years. And we do have licensed requirements in the state of Illinois for security guards. But in most cases, these firms specialize not in hiring security guards, but in hiring off-duty police officers. In some cases from other jurisdictions, not necessarily Chicago. So they're sworn, they're trained, they have firearms, and they can actually make arrests.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start right there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the Jedi trick. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna go on to say that he doesn't think that it really is gonna work, but it does work. It worked. You know what I'm saying? These private security forces work, and one of the number one reasons why they work for real today, me getting back to what I was saying, is because they are actually hiring, for the most part, cops and, dudes who are Marines and things like that. See, that's the thing. They're not telling us that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these cops that are retired and stuff like that, they're not retiring. A lot of these private business firms are coming up. They're creating these private security firms, and these cops are just going to them, and they're being hired by communities. All right. See, that's what's happening. And then you got some of the cops who are maybe just not doing as much work. You know what I'm saying? They work there still, but they probably do it part-time or whatever. But most of the time they're doing the private security thing. And see, these are things that we're not seeing, you know what I'm saying? Because we're not hiring these people, all right? They're not working in our communities and things like that. And see, that's the game, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I say this is the reason why micro communities and things like that are important, because we can't afford to continue to be entertaining so-called black folks that just ain't getting this basic shit. I mean, this shit is common sense, you know what I'm saying? And then you got Negroes out here on the front line talking about defund the police. Yeah, that's right. It ain't come from no black table at all. You know what I'm saying? And so that's one of the biggest things that's going on. You know what I'm saying? And I felt as if I had to speak on it, but this was a cool little clip to go ahead and back that up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I say, he says at the end, oh no, it ain't gonna work. But the thing is, it does work. And one of the main reasons why he will say that is because he don't want us to get any ideas and say, hey, dang, why don't we just hire our own black on, or just hire a security force in general? You know what I'm saying? Like I say, we got to be worried about getting results, okay? And then once the results come, we figure out how to make those results work in favor of our communities and things like that. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Y'all go ahead and comment below. Definitely like this video. And go ahead and hit the sub button and the bell, because I'm going to drop something that y'all going to like. It's your folks, Shaka the Urban Philosopher. I'm out. It's 300.